My dear fellow batchmates, this is it. This is the golden anniversary of our first meeting in 1966. And it is a great pleasure to be here, to be with you and join you and reminisce on what we have been doing over the last 50 years. If I may rephrase the word golden anniversary, I might say we have had 50 golden years where we have met each other, lived together. At the start of our course, over the first 5 years from 1966, we lived together, we shared our learning, we shared our cultures, we shared our sorrows and joys, and we kept in touch. And after 50 years, we are back again together. It is a very nice feeling, and I'm sure you all feel the same way, that we can come back together and feel this friendship of togetherness. It is the friendship that we value and the friendship that we continue on with each other and without any inhibitions. I think for that we need to applaud ourselves. Let us applaud ourselves for that. I need to explain that our worthy president, Saman Edrivira, he should have been sharing this session, but he holds high office, and one of the problems of holding high office is duty calls you sometimes at critical moments, and it is unfortunate that he was called for a special assignment or duty, but he assured us that he will somehow be with us again in about an hour's time. So we will just continue on until he comes. My task is next to welcome our chief guest. We have Mr. U.D. Jayawardena and Mrs. Jayawardena, who have kindly accepted our invitation and have come to spend this evening with us. We thank them very much, Mr. and Mrs. Jayawardena, for your presence. Mr. Jayawardena is the CEO of LTL, Lanka Transformers Limited, one of the big companies, conglomerates in Sri Lanka. He's also a past graduate of the University of Moratuwa. I think he knows what we are about and what engineering is about and what engineering industry is about. We are very grateful for your generosity. Our batch, led by Ananda Sebastian, embarked on a project, and Ananda, with his skills of electrical engineering, where he worked for a long period with Emerson's in Sydney, identified this project and put in a lot of effort to make it a success. But all his efforts would not have become fruitful if not for the financial support that was needed to put it into practice. And it was Mr. Jayawardena's generosity that has made this project of refurbishing and redoing the electrical lab at Moratuwa University and setting up the universal test rig in the machines lab that was done by a team of people led by Ananda himself. And we thank Mr. Jayawardena for his generosity. I also like to welcome the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Ananda Jayawardena. Thank you very much for the support you have given us. I have not been able to attend the meetings that the committee had with you because I myself live overseas, but I have been told that your warmth towards our batch and the work that we are doing has been very encouraging, and the encouragement and understanding is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank I'd like to welcome the Deputy Vice Chancellor and all the professors and staff members of University of Moratuwa, especially those members of staff who actually taught us. Members of staff like Professor GTF De Silva, who was the very first member of staff that was recruited around 1966, being a member of the mechanical engineering group. My own professor, Professor Upali Kurupu, we were waiting so much for him to join our institution, and it's so great to have you here when we are celebrating 50 years of our engineering career. Professor P.A. De Silva, another mechanical engineering professor who is just in front of me. It's really great to meet you. I think I'm seeing you after 45 years. Not really 45 years, because my first work assignment was at the Steel Corporation when you were chairman of the Steel Corporation. So I did work with you at that time as a graduate engineer. And the support you gave us and the support you gave the engineering profession and the engineering ideas that were developed is enormous. Professor KKYW Pereira, another original professor who we remember very dearly. It is very nice to have you here with us, and very, very encouraging that you have, by your presence, that you should make the effort to come and give us the encouragement that we really need. I don't want to go through names. It's very difficult to incorporate every name, but I just wanted to mention some of the professors that taught us. I knew the mechanical engineering professor, then of course Professor Dayantha Vijayasekara, who joined around the time we were maybe around our fourth year or so. There was Professor Raja D. Alvis, and there was several other names that come to mind. But I like to welcome all of you, all members of the staff who were with us at that time, and all those who have joined us today to celebrate this occasion. There are also other members. I can see faces. Mr. Maxi Brelis, who is our industrial engineering lecturer, who came in from industry, which was, I think, one of Professor Kurupu's innovative ideas to introduce industrial engineering into the program. And all these members of staff have remained friends with us, not only as teachers, but their friendship has remained, and it is great to be able to have you here and for you to join us in this celebration. When we talk about our batch, even our friends, even our staff members, they keep saying, your batch, the first batch, is a special batch. You're a unique batch. And I tried to see what is unique about us. And the answer that comes to my mind is that the 68 of us who joined, unfortunately not all of us are around here, very, very sad that some of us have left us, but all of us had unique personalities, various different personalities. And no two people were the same. And within this unique personality pack, we somehow or other had a strong sense of unity. And it is this unity within the unique personalities that made us really a special, unique batch. But within the batch, you can identify, I thought I identified three things. Firstly, friendship. I think for the batch, friendship was priority one. We helped each other, we associated with everyone, and we kept our relationships going, and that friendship is something that we value even today. The success of this event is also because of the strong bonds that we have established at the very early stages. And these bonds have continued and strengthened our friendship. And it is very, very nice. And it feels really good to feel that togetherness has brought us together again to make this celebration. Apart from friendship, the other factor that I think we can identify is the leadership. I think our batch, unique as it was, the individuals were unique, but we all had leadership qualities. It is not as if there were one or two people who led the activities that we started. All of us had a role to play in these activities. And when you think of the individuals in our batch, you were all leaders. And because of that, from day one, we put that leadership into action. And it is that action that has enabled us to, at this stage, showcase to everyone that our leadership, starting from year one, has made a contribution towards the university today. If we had just kept quiet, accepting the situation as it was at that time, I don't think the history of the University of Moratuwa would have gone this way. We, as a group, identified one fact, and that was that we entered the university, we accepted the course, but we were determined to end up with a university degree, a degree in engineering. Simply a certificate that said it was equivalent was not enough for us. And this idea we pushed from day one. We organized newspaper supplements to publicize the course. We gave publicity to the fact that we were a 5-year engineering degree with 1 whole year of practical training. And by publicizing these important aspects of the course, it was set up with UNESCO aid, and there were UNESCO experts who were able to also put in their input and make contribute into the development of the course in new ways. So we highlighted all this, and that is what we could do as students. We were not staff members, but even the staff valued what we were doing. We were monitoring the exam papers, we were keeping copies of exam papers and every year in order for us to be able to get membership of institutions. And by the time we finished our 5 years, many of us had already got graduate membership of the Sri Lanka Institute of Engineers. Because we had done a practical engineering training, we had done a subject called Engineer in Society, and it was only our course that was exempted from that particular subject by the Institute. So these leadership qualities that we all had as individuals, not just one or two people, is what really has brought us here. And when the time came, the seed that we had planted in our first year, the seed that we want to end up with an engineering degree, found fertile soil 4 or 5 years later. When the conditions changed, the idea that we were pushing for was the solution that the government needed, that the ministry needed, and they decided to go along with the task of establishing a campus of the University of Sri Lanka at Moratuwa. Subsequently, that campus became the University of Moratuwa. So we are very proud and we are very happy that we had some role to play. And the fact that we started working on this role at an early stage has been a significant contribution that we made towards this university. So, in addition to the leadership qualities, we also, I think when we look at the people in our batch and the sort of things we have been doing, gratitude is also one of the main characteristics of our batch. Our batch has always been willing to be act in a grateful manner for what we have received. We are collectively, I'm not speaking only for myself, and I know this because we are one batch and we know what each one thinks. We are collectively grateful to the people of this country for the free education that we received in the primary and secondary schools and then at university. We are also grateful to our parents and our teachers at school. We are also very grateful to the professors, some of whom are present here today, that for the education, for the encouragement, and for opening up our minds and opening up a vast horizon for us, so that with our education we were able to see not just beyond our nose but far ahead. And this we are grateful for, and we are grateful to all our university staff and the university itself. Arising from our gratitude to the university, we have always been wanting to give back something to the university. Even on our 40th anniversary, when we met, that time we met at the Golf Face Hotel, a crowd, and our intentions were there to do something for the university. But unfortunately, it was difficult for us to decide whether to spend money on capital or on student support. But this year, we were very clear. We worked with the university, our own Anand Sebastian identified a project, and then we worked on it. Initially, when we tried to decide on a project, we looked at the list of capital items that the university required, but they were not engineering items. So we spent some time trying to decide on one of them. Ultimately, this project of upgrading and bringing the electrical lab into a state-of-the-art system was something we felt was really useful. And that is also because of the generosity I feel that is in this batch. So the batchmates were willing to join with Mr. U.D. Jayawardena, and it was Mr. U.D. Jayawardena who contributed an enormous amount of millions of rupees to complete the project. So, ladies and gentlemen, our batch is very happy that we are able to celebrate today 50 years of our friendship, our leadership, and our gratitude, and to do that with all our batchmates and all our staff together. I welcome you all our batchmates who have come from various countries. It is a great effort. Many have come from Australia, Melbourne and Sydney. Some have come from the United Kingdom. Others have come from Canada and the United States. all have united because our batch believes in celebrating our friendship and unity. We welcome you all, and I hope you will all enjoy this evening. Thank you very much.
May I please request to have a look at the screen, and also we will observe a moment of silence to remember the batchmates, the lecturers, and those who have passed away.